1. Introduction. My name is Lisa. I rent an apartment in a residential area and live alone. Recently, a newly married couple moved into the flat right next to mine. They look like they're still in their honeymoon phase. Anyway, what difference does it make to me? Happiness and a peaceful married life were never meant for someone like me. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm an unfortunate woman. Do you know why I say unfortunate? Because I once loved someone deeply. I dreamed of building a happy life with him, but fate had other plans. I got involved with the wrong person and ruined my own life. Money was everything to him. My love had no value. Whenever he needed money, he'd come to me. For a while, I gave what I could, but the moment I failed to give more, he broke up with me. Soon after, he got involved with a rich girl, the daughter of a millionaire, and married her. Maybe right now, he's lying on his rich wife's chest, spending a luxurious, happy life, and I am still alive, alone, drowning in silence and pain. He was the first love of my life. I loved him with all my heart. But what use is thinking about the past now? Life doesn't stop for anyone. 2. My first attraction. Toward my neighbor. These days, loneliness and emotional suffering are my constant companions. Even in this suffocating loneliness, I longed for someone to hold close. Living alone in a rented flat with a broken heart is a pain beyond explanation. Sometimes it feels like I can't breathe. I take a long, deep breath and force myself back to normal. And ever since that newly married couple moved next door, staying locked inside my room became even harder. Every day I would see the husband walk his wife out. Later I realized she worked at a bank. She'd leave in the morning and return in the evening. The husband stayed home alone all day. For me, that felt like a small opportunity. Loneliness was consuming me, and I desperately wanted escape. Whenever I felt sad, I'd rush to the rooftop. Sitting at one corner, I'd stare at their flat. Sometimes I'd catch a glimpse of the man. He seemed younger than me, smart, fair-skinned, and well-built. Whenever I saw him, a forgotten spark of affection would rise in me. Eventually, he noticed that I often stared at him for long hours. Then he started coming to the rooftop too, walking around, casually glancing at me, sometimes smiling shyly. Just seeing someone smile at me made all my burdens disappear for a moment. Days went by like this, and the distance between us kept shrinking. Two people sitting on two separate rooftops, exchanging glances, smiling. It created a strange, silent bond. My mind whispered, "Lisa, this is your chance. Someone finally sees you. Someone finally makes your heart feel alive again." I wanted to grasp that chance. I wanted freedom from my loneliness. 3. My first face-to-face meeting with him around 10 a.m. I woke up. After freshening up and eating breakfast, I sat on my bed scrolling through Facebook. Suddenly the doorbell rang. I was surprised. No one usually visits me, especially not at that hour. When I opened the door, it was the maid from the newly married couple's flat. She handed me a folded piece of paper and left. I locked the door, sat on my bed, and opened the note. "My wife is at the office. She'll return in the evening. If you have time, please come over. We can have coffee and talk for a while." Reading that made me unexpectedly happy. At last, someone wanted to keep me company. I didn't waste a moment. I went straight to his flat. He welcomed me warmly and invited me inside. He insisted I sit on the sofa and said, "Please sit. I'll make coffee for us." I said, "No need, don't trouble yourself." but he ignored my protest and went to make coffee anyway. While waiting, I looked around at the beautiful married life photos on the walls. Their home looked full of love and warmth, and someone who has true love never really knows the pain of loneliness. Soon he returned with 2 cups of coffee. He handed me one and sat in front of me with the other. We were both silent at first. He seemed a bit shy. So I started asking him questions about his life, his name, hometown, job, how long he's been married. He smiled the whole time while answering. Such a sweet, gentle smile. I had never seen a face so soothing, so full of warmth. For a moment, I felt like all the sadness in my life had vanished. He also wanted to know everything about me. He could tell loneliness had swallowed me, that my past had torn me apart, and that I desperately needed affection. We talked and talked, losing track of time. I didn't want to leave. My heart wanted to sit in front of him forever, but eventually I stood up to go. I left his flat with a strange new feeling blooming inside me. 4. My dream remained Prince. Ever since that day, he has occupied every corner of my mind. Not for a single moment could I stop thinking about him. I couldn't focus on anything. Night came, but sleep didn't. I lay awake imagining him, his smile, his voice. Instead of getting tired, my heart felt more alive. It felt like I couldn't breathe without him. I wanted to run to him, but I also knew he belongs to someone else. He is another woman's husband, not mine. Yet my heart refused to listen. 5. Trapping him in the web of love. Next morning, I waited on the rooftop, watching for his wife to leave for work. As soon as she left at 10 a.m., I rushed to his flat and rang the bell. He looked surprised, but let me in. This time, I spoke openly. I'm lonely, unbearably lonely. After talking to you, something in me has changed. I can't think of anything but you. I need love, your love. He listened quietly, then sat close and touched my hand. He said, I'm here to love you. Then he leaned forward and gently touched my lips with his. He pulled me close and led me into his bedroom. He gave me more affection than I had ever been given in my life. For the first time in years, I felt happiness. Time flew, and suddenly it was evening. I didn't want to leave, but his wife would return soon. If she found us, everything would fall apart. Still, I left with a heart full of forbidden joy. Woe 6. The punishment for an affair. Months passed like this. Every day I went to his flat. Every day we shared secret love behind closed doors. Today, like every other day, we were lying together on his bed, talking softly. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. We assumed it was the garbage collector. But the maid opened the door, and his wife walked straight in. She opened the bedroom door and found us there. Her eyes froze. Tears rolled down her cheeks. For a minute she stood still, staring at us. Then she took out her phone and called the police. She also filed for divorce on the spot. Within minutes, the police arrived and arrested both of us. For committing adultery, I was sentenced to 7 years in prison, and the man received 5 years. The beautiful, newly built marriage they had shattered because of me. 7. Lesson learned. Because of one woman's mistake, a beautiful home shattered like glass. The woman who desperately wanted love ended up in jail. The man who loved Lisa also ended up in jail. And the innocent wife, the woman who trusted her husband while going to work, lost her marriage without doing anything wrong. All 3 lives were destroyed. That's all for today. I'll see you again with another real life story. And if Lisa's story taught you even a little lesson, make a promise today. Never get involved in an extramarital affair. Never fall for someone who isn't your spouse. If you agree, comment promise. Thank you.